Hi folks, welcome to another Stall13.com video. Now we're going to talk about your trailer. Now whether you have a nice, big, fancy aluminum trailer or maybe you have a 15-year-old stock trailer, there are some things that are the same with all these trailers. The most important thing about a trailer, other than the hitch, and we're going to talk about that in a second, is your axles. You need to grease the bearings on these axles. Whether it's a brand new trailer or whether it's 15 years old, at least once a year, the bearings need to be packed. And it doesn't really have to deal with the amount of miles that you drive. It has to do more about these tires spinning and the fact that they need to be greased. Obviously, you want good tires. You have to check your air pressure because every 5 degrees drop in temperature from 65 means you lose a pound of air. And we're going to talk about nitrogen in tires in just a little bit. You want to make sure that your running lights work, and a lot of places are real sticklers about that. Make sure that your reflectors are in good shape. You always want to make sure that no matter what type of trailer you have, that your trailer is safe, not just for your horses, but for you. It's a lot easier to spend a few dollars on repairing a trailer than it is if you have an accident. Let's talk about the hitch. Whether it's a bumper hitch or a gooseneck, this applies. You want to make sure that anything that it moves on your hitch moves freely. And by the way, WD-40 in a spray can is not a lubricant. It's a cleaning agent. So don't spray things with WD-40 because they're going to rust and lock. You want to use 3-in-1 oil or a silicone spray or an automotive grease. You want to make sure that you always have any moving parts that work. Your electric brakes, you want to make sure that it works. You want to make sure your safety chains are good. Let's talk about spare tires and jacks. A lot of people have spare tires, but do you ever check the air in your spare tire? Most jacks on most trailers have some type of Zerk fitting where you can squeeze grease into them and keep the jacks lubricated. If you have extra batteries for living quarters, if you have propane tanks for refrigerators and stoves, you want to make sure that you keep all these things in good service. And if it's a time of the year when you're not traveling with your trailer, you're not using your trailer, that's when things go bad. There's an old saying that I got from my grandparents, and it says if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And it really works like that. Have you ever noticed when you don't use a stall in a barn, it just seems to go bad for no reason? It's the same with trailers. You want to maintain them and keep an eye on them. Now let's talk about nitrogen. If you don't know what nitrogen is, ask your local tire person. Nitrogen will not give you better gas mileage. Nitrogen will not really make your tires wear that much longer. But nitrogen does not have the ability to escape a tire like just plain old air does. Usually they charge between $4 to $5 to replace the air in your tires with nitrogen. It's well worth it. And I'll give you an example. Almost every tire on this ranch, including tractors, four-wheelers, and wheelbarrow tires, horse trailers, so everything on the ranch, we have nitrogen in those tires. Why? Because in a year's time, in a 12-month period, we never lose 1 pound of nitrogen. No slow leaks. That's what's the importance of nitrogen. Well, folks, this has been another Stall13.com video. Take care of yourself and take care of your horses.